Hello everyone, I hope you're well and keeping dry because of all the rain we've had. So here I am with the next chapter of Hamish and the Worldstoppers. So just to recap, in the last chapter, Hamish was with his friends in the PDF out in the pause, and when he got home the house had been ransacked and his mum and Jimmy were not there. So chapter 25, taken. They had been taken. Mum and Jimmy and Mum, gone. Hamish had checked every room twice, and then a third time, though his heart grew heavy as he realised it was pointless. He'd watched the Terribles storm into Starkley. He'd seen with his own eyes as they undertook their dreadful mission. He'd even said they're after someone, as he sat there in the roller coaster carriage, trapped and powerless to do anything, not knowing they were after his own family. What if this was revenge? Maybe the Terribles knew for sure that he was a pause walker and they were looking for him. Hamish closed the French doors, locked them, tidied up the biscuits, put the spilled teacup on the drainer by the sink and sat down right in the middle of the sofa. This was Jimmy's seat. He never normally let Hamish sit here. There he is, sitting on the sofa. Well, that was one upside of this whole kidnapping business, he supposed. He could sit wherever he liked. Hamish stayed there a moment more, then shifted guiltily to the left. He checked his watch. It was really late, but he didn't want to go to bed, and he didn't want to sleep here. He knew exactly where to go. Taken, said Alice, shocked, closing her door behind her. Oh, Hamish, I'm so sorry. Hamish noticed Alice had painted her whole house dark grey, except for the banisters and the door frames and ceilings and floors, which were all electric blue. Your parents will go crazy when they see what you've done to your house, he said. I don't think home decor is top of their worries, she said. Look, we need to do something, he said, because he'd made a decision on the long dark walk to Viola Road. If we're right and we only have 2 pauses left, then we need to take the fight to the Terribles. He made an important face. We need to be clever, Hamish, said Alice. I spend my whole life trying to be clever, said Hamish, walking through to the kitchen and opening the fridge. There was just row after row of fish burgers. I'm always trying to do the polite thing and the right thing, and usually it gets me chased or beaten up or thrown in a bush with my watch stolen. Maybe for once, I want to start the fight. So what's your idea? She said quietly, as he sniffed a fish burger and put it straight back. On the fridge were the usual signs of family life, photos of Alice and her family, drawings, a certificate that read Starkley Under 12's 100-metre champion, Alice Shepherd, a voucher for 1% off their next pizza delivery order. Well, he said, turning ready to reveal his big idea, I think I should let the Terribles kidnap me. Alice raised her eyebrows. You should let the Terribles kidnap you, she repeated. I should let the Terribles kidnap me, yes, he said. And then what? Well, then they'll take me to their lair, and that's my plan. That's your plan? That's a terrible plan. What are you going to do when you're in their lair? Hamish thought about it. Fight them, he said. Fight them in their own lair, wherever that is. Just you. What are you going to do? Challenge them at Boggle? Well, I haven't worked it all out yet. I've just got the essence of a plan, but I guess that's when you all turn up in the ice cream van. Alice just stared at him. Except, he said, having a new idea, Except Buster can do some cool modifications to the ice cream van to make it a sort of battle ice cream van. I see, said Alice, filling up a glass at the sink. A battle ice cream van. And, you know, you've brought a whole army of kids with you, and that's when we say, hey, Terribles, why are you such a massive bunch of Burks? And that's when we take them out. Alice put a glass of squash down on the table for Hamish. He clearly needed one. We take them out, she repeated. What, for dinner and dancing? No, I mean we destroy them, said Hamish, bringing his fist down on the table with a bang that spilled a bit of his drink. Oh gosh, sorry about that. I'll tidy it up. Alice stood and walked to the window. I don't think we can destroy them, she said slowly. I really don't. Deep down, Hamish knew that she was right. He'd just been so full of anger and helplessness when he found Mum and Jimmy had gone that all he wanted to do was come up with something. Anything. Alice stood by the window, silently staring out into the darkness while Hamish considered his situation. First, there was his dad. Hamish missed his dad. He missed him more than ever. And now that Mum and Jimmy had been taken, the only person he wanted to speak to was his dad. He'd know what to do. He'd have a plan. It would be a brilliant plan, an incredible one, full of action and bravery and intrigue and rescue. They'd wear matching T-shirts and be an amazing father and son team, swapping witty chit-chat as together they got Mum and Jimmy back. Of course they would. But Dad was gone. With the Terribles? Maybe. Or maybe there was the thought that came to Hamish in the depths of the night, the thought that he would always try to drive away and squish, the thought that maybe his dad was just in some other town, hanging out with some other little boy, making another family laugh each night, sitting down for dinner and ruffling his new kid's hair, playing boggle with him at the kitchen table, starting afresh while Hamish's life fell apart. I mean, what was more likely? That or world-stopping monsters? He needed his dad. He knew he did. And with him not being there, what amazing plan had Hamish come up with? Get kidnapped and call the Terribles Burks. And what was the point? What was the point in fighting? The Terribles were going to win. They always were. Might as well just stay home like Robin and his family. Might as well just sit back and let it happen. Just let the next two pauses happen and surrender. You've given me an idea, said Alice quite suddenly. And next time we'll find out what Alice's idea was.